Hey everyone, welcome to a deep dive that gets right into the mind of a product marketer. We're going deep on product viability today
Okay.
with insights from Tyler Dorsey. You familiar with his work?
Oh, absolutely. Tyler Dorsey. Yeah, he's great. A real pro in the field.
Yeah, he's got this way of breaking down these kind of complex ideas.
Yeah,
Makes them something we can all actually use.
totally. What I really appreciate about Dorsey is that he doesn't just
Skim the surface.
yeah, exactly. He goes way deeper than just does it work. He really dives into what makes a product, truly successful.
So he starts by defining viability as capable of working successfully, which, okay, seems kind of obvious, right? But then he adds this whole 100% money back guarantee mindset to it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you make of that?
It's brilliant. It makes you think about confidence, right? Like the promises you're making, it's not enough for your product to just function. It has to deliver, deliver the goods. Those promise results, whether they're, tangible or even emotional, every single time.
So exceeding expectations.
Exactly. Think about a fitness product, right?
Got it.
Instead of just being yeah, this helps you lose weight, what if it tackled the deeper needs we all have, right?
Right.
Like overcoming past failures with fitness,
Hmm.
battling that low motivation, or even just flipping the script on all those limiting beliefs we have about exercise. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's really about understanding the whole person, not just selling them on, the quick fix.
Right. And Dorsey, he even takes it a step further with this whole concept of future pacing. So he wants you to map out the entire customer journey, the beginning, the middle, the end.
Wow.
It's like you're preemptively troubleshooting, the user experience before it even happens.
You're not just thinking about that initial purchase,
Yeah.
but how does this product actually fit into their life, long term?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Going back to that fitness product example, it's not just about giving them some workout routines. A truly viable product in this space might offer, motivational support, help people push past those plateaus, even navigate I don't know, social situations that are related to their fitness goals.
Wow, so you're anticipating every potential roadblock and then building in the solution from the very beginning.
And that's just the start. Dorsey, he wants us to, uncover what he calls the secondary benefits. Those hidden perks, right, that go beyond the obvious. Think about it. How could improved fitness, like we were just talking about, how could that impact someone's clarity, their relationships, even their, technical abilities at work?
It's like you're painting the full picture of how this product could, improve their life. Not just the expected outcomes, but, all the unexpected bonuses too.
Exactly. And that can be incredibly powerful for your marketing, right?
Well, absolutely.
Understanding all those potential benefits, it allows you to really fine tune your message. You can target the right audience, shape the entire sales process to make the biggest impact.
This is where it gets really, really interesting
Mhm.
because Dorsey doesn't just want us to think about the sunny days. He
Right.
wants us to be prepared
If the what?
if the storms hit.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
He introduces these two exercises: perfect weather and worst storm. Have you heard of these?
Oh, yeah, I love these. They're fantastic
Right.
for stress testing your product's viability, Perfect weather. That's that ideal scenario, Everything just clicks. Your target customer, they're motivated, resources are abundant, life is good.
But
But
then
then, yeah,
the worst storm hits.
exactly. And that's when it gets real.
Yeah. Low motivation, limited resources, all those curveballs, right?
All the things that could go wrong do go wrong.
Right, exactly.
It forces you to think about that resilience factor, Can your product weather the storm and still deliver, what it promises?
So thinking about those potential challenges, I mean, that leads us to the practicality of actually bringing this product to life. And this is where I think Dorsey's concept of feasibility comes in, right?
Yeah.
So we're moving from, is it possible to, okay, but is this actually doable?
Right.
And he emphasizes that feasibility, it's all about determining whether something's achievable. And not just for the consumer, but for the creator as well.
Yeah, he's big on, finding that sweet spot where the product's goals and the resources and capabilities of everyone involved, they align, And time, he argues, is the most critical factor there.
Oh, absolutely. Whether it's the time commitment required from the consumer or the time frame for product development, delivery. I mean, it's huge. And I think it's often overlooked.
100%.
Oh,
And
yeah.
to help us really grasp this, he has this exercise called All for One, or One for All. Have you heard of this?
I have. It's about analyzing whether your product demands your complete focus, like the all-in approach, or if it can be, woven into a larger routine, like a one-of-many type of thing.
Right. It's about figuring out how this product actually fits into the grand scheme of someone's life and if that fit makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And speaking of, making sense, Dorsey doesn't shy away from the realities of like bringing a product to life over the long haul.
Right.
And that's where sustainability comes in.
Right. And he doesn't just mean like environmental sustainability here. He's talking about a product's ability to deliver that long-term value without any negative consequences, right?
Right.
Physically, psychologically, even emotionally.
It's about being upfront about any potential downsides or challenges.
Yeah.
Going back to that fitness product example, like,
Go ahead.
have you ever, started a new workout program?
Oh, yeah.
All gung-ho, only to hit a wall because you didn't really think about the sacrifices involved.
Oh, totally. You get so swept up in like the excitement of something new, but then, the reality of it, those sacrifices, time, diet changes.
Yeah.
Maybe even like your social life shifts a little. I mean, it can be a lot.
It can really derail you.
It can.
And Dorsey's all about that transparency. He even suggests this exercise called Hard Truth and Compromises.
Yeah.
And basically, you just list out like the difficult realities of using your product, and then you brainstorm ways to either like mitigate those challenges or offer, better support to the customer along the way.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
This is going to take work, but, here's how we can do it together.
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of honesty that's huge.
It builds trust, and that's key to, long-term success.
Absolutely.
And speaking of success, Dorsey, he doesn't want us to just survive. He wants us to thrive.
Okay.
He challenges us to think about a product's capacity for, growth by exploring scalability and potential.
Now, those always feel a bit intimidating to me, especially like for someone just starting out.
Right.
But he breaks it down in a way that makes sense.
He does. He says scalability is all about how well a product can adapt to increased demand.
Okay.
But he also acknowledges that, like, for new products, this might not be, like, the main focus right off the bat.
Which is reassuring because when you're just starting out, it's like you feel like you need to, solve for everything at once.
Yeah.
So what about potential then? How does he define that?
He sees potential as, like, the product's capacity for, future success, its ability to evolve, expand, really make a lasting impact.
Yeah.
And to help us wrap our heads around this whole thing, he gives us the 3 wheres exercise. Have you heard of this one?
I have, yeah. It's all about perspective, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Think about it. Where were they? Meaning the customer, like before your product even entered their life.
Okay.
Then where are they going? Their goals, their aspirations, what they're hoping to achieve. And then finally, where will they go from there? Envisioning those exciting possibilities that open up, after they've achieved those initial goals.
So it's almost like you're not just selling a product, you're becoming a part of their journey, their story.
Exactly. And that level of connection, it fosters like this loyalty, and it really like turns customers into, advocates for your product. But Dorsey doesn't stop there. He knows that in a world that's like constantly bombarded with new products and services, you need more than just a great concept.
Right.
You need staying power,
You need it to last.
And that's where his emphasis on durability comes in.
It's interesting because when you think of durability, you usually picture something like physical, like a really well-built car or something. But he applies it to products in such an interesting way.
He does. He describes durability as the ability of a product to remain like relevant and valuable over time, especially, as competition heats up or like consumer preferences, they change all the time these days.
Yeah. How do you achieve that kind of staying power, though?
Well, Dorsey believes it starts with really focusing on rewarding the consumer for their loyalty and engagement.
Okay.
It's about building like genuine connections.
Right.
Not just resorting to those like sleazy, manipulative tactics that just leave people feeling, used and unsatisfied.
Yeah, like it's about fostering trust and transparency instead of always creating a sense of need just to drive sales.
Exactly. And to help put this into action, Dorsey offers this really insightful exercise, the degrees and benefits. It encourages us to think like beyond just the individual customer.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Okay, so It's simple, but it's powerful. You list out how your product benefits not just the individual customer, but also their family, their friends, even their wider social circle. So you're creating this like ripple effect of positivity that extends, way beyond just that one person.
So it's about like adding value to the world around them,
Exactly.
not just their own lives.
Exactly. And this not only like enhances the product's durability, but it also fosters like a sense of community
Yeah.
and, shared value.
Which honestly, we could use a little more of these days.
Absolutely, 100%. Now, building on that whole idea of adaptability, Dorsey also like really stresses the importance of flexibility.
This one feels particularly relevant, I think, in today's world.
Yeah.
Where everything is moving so fast.
Right. Everything changes like that.
Yes.
He sees flexibility as this ongoing like dance between the product and its audience. It's about constantly like anticipating those shifts in the market. Customer preferences are always changing.
Yeah, they are.
And finding ways to like adjust, whether it's the product itself or how it's, delivered.
So not about having all the answers right away, but having that, that willingness to adapt.
Exactly. And Dorsey's very clear that this responsibility, like, it falls on the shoulders of the creator, not the consumer.
Okay.
He even provides this helpful acronym to guide this whole process. It's called GUST.
Okay, I'm all ears. Break that down.
Okay, so GUST stands for usage, satisfaction, guidance, and treatment.
Right.
Usage is all about tracking how people are actually using your product.
Got it.
Not just how you assume they are. Satisfaction dives into, like, their level of contentment. Are they actually happy? Guidance is about providing those, like, clear instructions and support to make sure they're, getting the most out of it. And then finally, treatment relates to how well the product is being, like, maintained and updated by the creators themselves.
So it's like this holistic approach to making sure that the product stays relevant and responsive.
100%.
Yeah.
And this is where Dorsey's, marketing expertise really shines through. He's a big believer in incorporating that customer feedback and data into every step of the process.
Which makes sense, because who knows your product better than the people who are actually like out there using it, right?
Yeah.
He seems to be really big on this idea of staying in tune with your audience.
He is. He talks a lot about the importance of understanding not just who your customers are,
Right.
but like what makes them tick, their motivations, desires, even their fears.
It's like you're trying to get inside their heads, right? To really understand their world.
Their needs, their aspirations, yeah.
Yeah.
And he provides some really like interesting insights into how to do that effectively. Like, for instance, he's a huge advocate for the power of storytelling.
Ooh, this is something I've always found so fascinating.
Yeah.
Because a good story, it really stays with you.
It does. And Dorsey believes that stories, they can make your product so much more relatable, more memorable. He says they can really help it, stand out in a crowded marketplace and just communicate value in a way that like resonates on a much deeper level, that emotional level.
It's not just here are the features and benefits.
Right.
It's,
it's about connecting.
It's human. Yeah, exactly.
Dorsey also talks about the importance of social proof.
Okay.
That whole idea that people are way more likely to, like, trust a product if they see other people using it, recommending it.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's like we're social creatures by nature. Think about how many times have you, like, tried something new because a friend recommended it or you saw it all over social media.
Oh, all the time.
Right, exactly.
Dorsey encourages creators to like really lean into this, leverage those testimonials, share compelling case studies, even encourage like user-generated content. It's about building that credibility and that trust through the experiences of others.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, don't just take our word for it, see what everybody else is saying.
Exactly, and that's huge.
And it goes beyond, just showcasing those positive reviews.
Right.
Dorsey also stresses the importance of like actively engaging with your audience.
Yeah.
Fostering that sense of community, and belonging around your product.
So it's not just a transaction, it's like a relationship.
Right.
Exactly. And building those strong relationships, that can lead to some serious, long-term growth, loyalty. People are more likely to stick with a product, even recommend it to others if they feel like they're, part of something bigger.
That actually reminds me of something else Dorsey talks about, ethical marketing.
Yes.
Because it feels like a lot of companies, I mean, they're so focused on just like making the sale that they kind of forget about that human element. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true. And Dorsey's like very clear about his stance on this. He's all about transparency, honesty, and respect for the consumer.
Mm.
No manipulative tactics,
Yeah.
no unrealistic promises, just to like close a deal.
Which honestly, it's a breath of fresh air because it's like
It is.
we're constantly being bombarded,
Yeah.
with all these messages that feel, I don't know,
Yeah.
inaccurate at best.
Dishonest, yeah. But Dorsey, he reminds us that building a successful business, it's not about those quick wins. It's
Yeah.
about creating genuine value, fostering that trust with your customers. And he like backs that up with like practical advice on how to create marketing that's both compelling and ethical.
It's like he's giving you that roadmap, to kind of navigate these, like the
Yeah.
murky waters.
The murky waters of marketing.
Yes, exactly. With integrity.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love that. It's really refreshing to see someone in marketing, talking about this, advocating for it. But I get the sense that Dorsey wouldn't want us to just stop at, creating a great product and marketing it ethically.
Yeah.
He seems like a big believer in continuous improvement.
100%. He emphasizes that creating a viable product, it's not like a one-time thing.
Right.
It's an ongoing process. You constantly have to be seeking feedback, analyzing that data, and being willing to like iterate, adapt.
It's that growth mindset.
Yes.
Don't get complacent.
Yeah.
You got to keep learning.
Exactly. And he's a firm believer in, testing, experimentation.
Mhm.
Even those small tweaks and adjustments can make a huge impact on a product's, success over time.
It's about being open to that possibility that, you might not get it perfect the first time.
Right?
And that's okay. But it's that drive, that commitment to keep getting better,
Totally.
This has been incredible. We covered so much. I mean, we're talking about everything from defining viability to like, customer psychology,
Yeah.
ethical marketing,
It's a lot.
continuous improvement. It's a lot. But he just provides this framework that feels,
It feels doable.
manageable and exciting, honestly. Like you can do this.
Yes. It's exciting, yeah. What I love is that he takes these complex ideas
Mm-hmm.
and he makes them feel accessible.
Totally.
Whether you're like, you've been doing this for years or you're just, dipping your toes in the water.
That's what makes this so valuable.
Yeah.
He's not just giving us like the theory.
Right.
He's giving us tools that we can actually use. It's like having that product development mentor, like right there with you.
I love that. That's such a good way to put it.
And the best part is that it's applicable, I think, regardless of what you do, what you're selling. It doesn't matter if it's a physical product, it's a service, it's a course. Like these principles, they hold true.
Yeah.
It's about understanding what makes a product successful at its core. Understanding your customer, understanding your market,
Being able to adapt.
constantly striving to deliver value.
And never underestimating the power of connecting with people, on a human level.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive. But before we go, I want to leave you all with one final thought.
Hmm.
We've explored like a ton of strategies and tactics today, but I think at the end of the day, the real measure of a product's success is the impact it has on the world,
It really is.
So as you embark on your own product development journey, just ask yourself, what positive change do I want to create with this? Let that question guide you. Let it inspire you. Let it help you create something truly meaningful.
What a powerful thought.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep creating. We'll see you all soon.